A Spanish woman, they're raised to be a wife.
But why isn't a black woman raised that way?
Most black women are raised to be independent. Remember, let's be real.
Say that again?
Most black women are raised to be strong, tough, independent, and don't take no shit. The daddy wasn't shit. I raised you alone by myself. Be a strong black woman. So they come into the game with their guard up ready. The Spanish girl is raised to serve.
Yeah.
They be cooking for their father at a young age, washing the dishes, washing the table, mopping all Saturday morning. Let's face it, they're raised to serve. If one time I swear to God, I'm at a girl's house having dinner. I got up with my own plate, put it in the garbage, put it in the sink. Her mom spazzed on her in Spanish about da 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 da. Now, in the black woman's house, if I get up with my own plate, she gonna say, "That's a damn good nigga. He got his own shit. I like him, Shirley. He got his own shit." But Maria better get up and get that plate and get it washed and show him you are a wife.
That was one of the co-hosts from 8 at the Table. He's a Dominican man and he got a lot of people mad with his comments. Shout out to 8 at the Table as well as Ricky for sending this in to me. We're gonna jump into this, but before we do that, take a second to make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Click the notification bell for all updates, and if you're new, include new subscriber in your comment below, and I'm gonna try my best to respond to all of you. This was a pretty hot conversation that got a lot of people upset. He was saying that Latinas, they're raised to be more submissive, they're raised to serve men, and black women, he was saying that we are not raised to serve men, we're raised to be more independent. And as a Dominican man, he briefly touched on his experience, one dealing with a black woman and her family versus a Latina. So many comments here. Snow the product had to chime in. She said the whole raise to serve is literally what we as Latinas are fighting against. And he thinks it's a skill. LMFAO, F out of here. And if you don't know Snow, she's a rapper from California. She's also a rebel. You know, in a lot of her interviews, she talked about being in competition with guys and how she always wanted to rap and show everybody that she can be better than the men. She came up with 2 Mexican parents. Father was there early in her life. And at some point, she and her father, they fell out and he is no longer a part of her life. I am not surprised at all. She's your modern woman and she happens to be Mexican. But then you had another woman. She said, "I'm Mexican," and what he said is so true. Then you had another modern Latina woman. She said that this is so disrespectful to Hispanic women. "I've never served anyone. I was raised to be independent, but also cater and love my children." She said she never served anybody, but she was raised to cater and love children. To me, sounds like someone who was raised by a feminist. This happens all the time with modern women. They get offended when you tell them about serving a man. They make it seem like it's beneath them or you're asking them to do something degrading. They have really big egos and it doesn't come off well to people. No sense of humility or modesty. So this Hispanic woman right here, she was offended by him saying that Hispanic women serve men, but she didn't shy away from being independent. Just like black women, like this one right here. She said, "I'm black and I was raised in a 2-parent household. I was raised to be a wife with submissive independence." And that phrase made absolutely no sense. You really gotta watch these chameleons out there. What is this talk about being submissive and independent? And that's the problem with modern women, no matter what the race is. They're always going back and forth trying to balance between being feminine and being masculine. They're very confused. They want to be men and women at the same time. It's crazy, but it's true. A lot of modern women, they hate men so much because they want to be men. And I never understood that. What's with their obsession with wanting to be a man? Well, for most of them, it's about power and control. And that's simply what it boils down to. Now, here's a man coming in with all this Derek Jackson babble. He's definitely in need of SIMPTERVENTION. He says, disagree with all of it. No matter what race a woman is, if she finds the right man, she will serve him like a king. And I'm sorry to break it down to you, but that is conditional femininity. And that's one of the biggest lies that you have the modern women going around saying now. If the man was everything that she wanted, then she will be submissive and cooperative. You have feminists who got into marriages and relationships with millionaires, and they still wouldn't cooperate, they still wouldn't submit. There was still a battle for control on who was going to be the leader of the family, and ultimately she was still competing with the man. I've said this so many times. You cannot switch it on or off. You're either submissive or you're not. And men like this one right here, you can't tell him nothing about these chameleons. He's going to have to learn the hard way. So that's on that. And of course, you got black women, they didn't like his statements. This one right here says, no, sir. Your perspective on black families and how we were raised is incorrect. You can't put that on all women, black or Spanish. And you know good and well, you cannot have a conversation like this without people talking about not all this, not all that. Of course, you can't say anything 100% about any group of people or anybody. But what he was talking about here as a Hispanic man is the difference between his interaction and the mindset of the women that he dated, the mothers of the Latinas versus the mothers of the black women, and how they raised them to serve men. For the most part, in 2022, at least out in the West, most women are not traditional women. And it's also true that black women are programmed to compete with men, to be strong and independent, to be educated, to have a job, to have a career, now to have a business, to be a boss chick, so that you don't need a man. And all this modern day stuff, yes, is being taught to everybody. But black women are now the poster children for this program. And of course, I am not talking about all black women. I'm a black woman. And I may know some black women who don't fall into that category. But we have to keep it real. Most black women fall into this category. This is why most black women are single. Most black women won't get married. And that's why the marriage rate for black women is lower than any other race. And for the black women listening right now, the ones who haven't had good relationships, it could be a lot of reasons why your relationships didn't work out. But I'm telling you, it's very simple. It's your attitude. It's your behavior. And the crazy part is you know this already. You've been told this so many times, it's not even funny. Instead of working to change, you spend a lot of your time fighting to stay the same. You do the same thing. You have the same attitude. You make the same decisions. You pick the same men. You surround yourself with the same friends. Keep surrounding yourself with the same toxic family members. The same, no change. So how do you change? Well, first you need to humble yourself. Like the old folks would say, some of you're too big for your own britches. Stop lying to yourself and listening to lies from other people. You gotta stop talking and start listening. You don't know everything, and for a lot of you, you don't know anything. Listen and then do the real work. This conversation, it really got a lot of people upset. But what I do want to say to black women, don't take this as another opportunity to say, but this person, but that person, but this person, but that person. Worry about you. The only person that you can change is you. You can't change other people. You have no control over other people. Worry about what you need to do to fix you. Because at the end of the day, no one is stopping you but you. You're sabotaging yourself. You're making life hard on yourself. Believe it or not, black women used to be traditional. All the things that he talked about, it used to be normal with black women. But now it's time for black women as a group to go back to normal. But hey, we're going to leave it right here. Let me know what you think about this below in the comments. Shout out to our sister Quita, Dark Power, and Gar. I appreciate all of you for your support for this channel. Want to see more content like this? You can support the channel as well. Links are below for Cash App and PayPal. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.